Hello and thank you for joining us on NTA Nationwide. I'm Najat wishing you happy Workers' Day. And we'll begin with the news of the moment. Observed since the first democratic election in 1999 in celebration of workers' rights and a reminder of the critical role which trade unions and other labor organizations played in the fight against apartheid, workers celebrate this day with a renewed resolve to deliver at work despite the challenges. Charles Alpha reports.
May Day, also called Workers' Day or International Workers' Day, commemorates the historic struggles and gains made by workers and labor movement. The first May Day celebrations took place on the 1st of May, 1890, after its proclamation by the First International Congress of Socialist Party in Europe on July 14, 1889 in Paris, France, to dedicate May 1st every year as the Workers' Day of International Unity and Solidarity.
It took its roots as far back as 1886. Basically a series of events that took shape at that time, including the famous or infamous Chicago riots that basically spoke to the issues around wages and in particular working hours for working class people.
In Nigeria, May Day as a public holiday was first declared by the People Redemption Party government of Kano State in 1980. And since then, it has become a national holiday. Between that time and now, certain demands became a yearly call, with some governments making efforts to meet them.
I retired in 2007. Up to now, no pension, no grant.
The kernel of the discussion right now is money, finance, welfare, condition of service.
The Nigerian workers, in spite of all of these difficulties, remain resolute and committed to delivering the best of services to building their fatherland. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
I'm now being joined in the studio by the President, National Association of Academic Technologists, Comrade Ibijin Nwokoma. You're welcome to our studios.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and privilege to be here.
And happy Workers' Day. So how is this year's theme applicable to workers in general?
Today, this year's theme is labor, politics, and quest for development and in Nigeria. Of course, the essence of the theme is that workers has to be aware, create the awareness that workers has to take part in elections, in awareness, because all actions that happen in the country is a product of policy of governance. And so workers has to be part and parcel of the process to electing people, the process to ensuring that elections are taken, and that they are also part and parcel of the processes that will lead to good elections in Nigeria.
So, seeing that Nigerian workers should be a part of the process, it also follows that their needs should be addressed. What is being done to see that the Nigerian worker is comfortable and satisfied in his place of work?
Thank you very much. That's one of the essence of Workers' Day that is being marked today. You know that inflationary rate has overtaken even the new minimum wage that was recently enacted by the National Assembly and signed into law by the President of Nigeria. By the time you buy a bag of rice for 30,000 naira or more, and minimum wage is 30,000. So what is left for the man to train his children? And we are saying that government should do something to improve the welfare of workers. Because as of today, the take home cannot take anybody home. That's the truth.
So very briefly now, because of time, life after work, talking about pensions. What should be done for the Nigerian worker who has served and put in time to build a nation?
Well, it's unfortunate that we spend 8 hours of our youthful period to serve government, and you have only 4 hours to yourself. And then you retire at 60 or 65, as the case may be. And after retirement, government has not done anything to make sure that gratuities and pensions are paid. But workers' unions continue to demand that the PFAs, all other programs put in place to ensure that pensions are paid, that government will do something to ensure that pensions are paid and paid on time. There are states that are owing pensioners 30 months, 3 years, 1 year, no gratuity, no pension. And it's killing. It's not fair.
But despite all that, the workers are still working and smiling.
Fine, smiling and suffering.
No, thank you very much for
you.
coming to our studios.
Thank you very much.
I've been talking with Comrade Ibeji Nwokoma, the President, National Association of Academic Technologists, about the 2022 Workers' Day. The President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, sends his best wishes to Nigerian workers on the occasion of the 2022 May Day. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, Ola Awuni, Senator Lawan also celebrates the workers for their immense contributions to the development of the nation, acknowledging their patriotic cooperation with government and other institutions in the collective effort at addressing societal challenges. Senator Lawan, in the spirit of May Day, appeals for a speedy and amicable resolution of the ongoing negotiations between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, to ensure that Nigerian universities reopen for learning and research. Muslims the world over are looking forward to Eid-el-Fitr celebration, which comes after Ramadan. Ahead of this religious festival, Muslims in the Federal Capital Territory are preparing to observe the 2 rakat prayer, which ushers the celebration in. Aisha Uba Ali was at the Eid prayer ground along Airport Road in the FCT and now reports.
Injunction to celebrate Eid-Fitr after 29 or 30 days of Ramadan, as may be allowed by sighting of a new moon. This celebration continues after the morning prayer at designated Eid prayer grounds. And the FCT, the Chief Imam of the Abuja National Mosque, Muhammad Kabir Adam, says all is set, but enjoins Muslims to keep to the lessons of Ramadan.
Protect our nation. We should do good to our nation as we sacrifice during the month of Ramadan.
Although the sighting of the moon determines when the Eid-Fitr will be marked, the Chief Imam speaks further on the COVID-19 protocol.
Keepers were advised to come along with their face mask, that's all. Otherwise, the rest has been relieved.
NTA gathered that over the years, a popular construction company has been partnering with the Federal Capital Territory administration to maintain and keep the place in good shape and condition, especially during Eid festivities.
All is set for the Eid-el-Fitr 2 rakat prayers tomorrow, but the appeal is that Muslims should continue to practice the lessons they have learned during Ramadan, which amongst them is the virtue of sacrifice. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
Indeed, Aisha, speaking of sacrifice, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Ghali Baba, has ordered the deployment of intelligence operatives, traffic officers and other operational assets of the force for adequate security during and after the Eid-el-Fitr celebration nationwide. A statement by the force Public Relations Officer Olamuyiwa Adejobi indicates that the IGP has equally ordered priority attention to places of worship, highways, recreational centres and financial institutions during the festive period. The IGP also tasks all State Commissioners of Police and their Supervisory Assistant Inspectors General of Police to ensure that crime is put in check for a hitch-free celebration. Meanwhile, the IGP, on behalf of the force, felicitates with Muslims as they join the global Ummah to mark this year's Eid-el-Fitr celebration. The IGP urges Muslims to practicalize the values of empathy, faith, charity, and other teachings of Ramadan in their relationship with others. Meanwhile, the governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, has advised parents and religious leaders to instill positive values in the minds of teenagers to curb the prevailing social vices and other delinquent behaviors. This was during the annual Ogun State Iftar hosted by the governor. Lekon Agbonde reports.
Worried by the current trends in juvenile delinquency and its attendant consequences, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun says youth should be encouraged to engage in productive activities and bear in mind that the road to success is paved with hard work.
All of us guidance, school administrators, religious leaders, media, security agencies must come together, reach out a call to harness the raw energy of youth towards positive enterprise.
There is still a lot to be done. Educate their minds, educate their hands, educate their souls. Return the teaching of religion. I'm not even saying particularly Islamic religion. Those who are Christians should be taught Christian religious studies.
Other stakeholders at Iftar stress the need for religious leaders to promote tolerance, peace, and harmony among their followers and by extension in Nigeria. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbode, NTA News.
Meanwhile, one of the obligations associated with Ramadan is Zakat-al-Fitr, which Muslims the world over are encouraged to give for the sake of Allah, as it is rewarding and spiritually fulfilling. Garba Nata'ala reports on the significance of this form of almsgiving.
It is getting to sunset, and 65-year-old Malam Ali Ahmad Mekano is deciding on which place to feed and break his fast. Feeding in the last 1 month has not been an issue for him and his family because it is Ramadan, a month that one need not to ask before getting food from the well-to-do. Malam Ali Mekano will, however, have a respite of about a week or two before starting to look for food, as Zakat-al-Fitr, a rite of giving out grains to the needy at the end of Ramadan fast, will give his family enough raw food to feed.
This zakat will be given to the needy wherever he is, be it in the mosque, outside the mosque, within the city, wherever he is, so that on this period of Salah, at least, he has something to celebrate Salah with it.
Every Muslim faithful is expected to give out certain amount of grains on behalf of each member of his household.
1 sa'i is given out for each person. 1 sa'i is 4 mud with mudun nabi. 4 mudun nabi is equivalent to 1 sa'i, which is, according to some scholars, 4 handfuls. 4 handfuls.
This is normally given a day or two to Salah, or in the morning before going for Eid prayer.
In fact, our Ramadan will just be like in suspense or hanging without any Muslim performing that.
I started doing it, I think, over 25 years ago.
For the likes of Malam Ali Ahmad Mekano, Ramadan does not only comes with spiritual renewal, but with a source of food that is willingly offered without them asking for it. In Abuja, Garba Muhammad Natala, NTA News.
Up next is Sports Update.
Following the conclusion of the draws for the 2022 Women's African Cup of Nations, reactions have trailed this year's pitching as the senior women national team Super Falcons have been drawn to play South Africa, Botswana and Burundi in Group C of the 14th Women AFCON taking place 2nd to 23rd July in Morocco.
It's definitely going to be a long road for most of the teams getting involved and also for teams challenging for glory. in Morocco. So I think it's really a very great role for Nigeria.
In the meantime, after their colossal victory over Egypt, the head coach of the Nigeria under-17 female national team, Bankole Olowokere, has also reacted to his team's progression to the fourth round of the FIFA under-17 Women's World Cup qualifiers. The under-17 team, the Flamingos, thumped their Egyptian counterparts 6-0 on aggregate to maintain a clean sheet, conceding no goals in 4 matches played so far.
Just need to sit down and get in-depth information about them, just as the previous matches are played, and take some study on that and see how to map out our strategy to get the ticket. All that we are determined to get the ticket for the nation, and we surely do that by the grace of God.
The Flamingos await the outcome of the second leg contest between South Africa and Ethiopia to know their next opponent in the fourth round. In boxing, Katie Taylor showed immense courage and powers of recovery as she retained her status as undisputed lightweight champion with a split decision win over Amanda Serrano in an instant classic. She was given the nod by 2 judges by scores of 97-93 and 96-93, with a third plumping for a Puerto Rican opponent, 96-94. It was the toughest test of Taylor's career, but she extended her unbeaten record to 21 wins from as many fights, keeping hold of her WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO titles following a standout performance. With Sports Update, Cynthia Ogun, NTA News.
Sports Update concludes this Workers' Day edition of Nationwide. Keep standing with NTA against rape and rapists. I'm Najat Tijani, wishing you Eid Mubarak in advance on behalf of NTA.